Hello, America! I have been extremely busy the last few weeks, several weeks, about a month here, I guess. I've been just go. And I'm finding it hard to find time to do videos or to do editing. A typical video for me takes about 3 hours to edit. You know, that's a typical video is one that has the dash cam and the music and me talking for a few minutes about something, whatever the subject is. And by the time I put all that together and put music with it and make it, edit it all to where it all, syncs up well and everything, I might put 3 hours into a video, So this week's been very busy for me. I've been just working, just driving, nothing extraordinary. It's just been busy, And I haven't had time to edit a video out. And so I thought I'd cheat. I figured I'd just throw a quick talkie video. It takes me about 10 or 15 minutes to do the talking and then 20 minutes to, edit it and put it up on the internet. So this is going to be a cheapy video. I apologize for it. And as far as something to look at, instead of me sitting here at my desk talking, let's put this little bit of video behind it. This is a dust storm that was out in West Texas about a month and a half ago, and I had about a 40-mile-an-hour tailwind. I got about 10 miles a gallon on that run. That was coming across West Texas, across the highway or Interstate 20, coming back up toward Dallas. And like I said, I had a 35, 40-mile-an-hour tailwind, and I mean, I was getting really good fuel mileage. But right here around middle of Odessa, it kicked up a whole bunch of dust. There was like a dust storm. So just for people that have never been out in the West in the desert and whatever, you can see what a dust storm looks like for the next, so many minutes. So with that said, let's get into some of these comments. This isn't really a Q&A so much, but it's just some of the comments you guys make, and I want to respond to them. So with that said, let's start doing some of these comments. Okay, one of my big viewers, leaves a lot of comments and everything, is Phil the Stalker, and he made a comment here. It says, Stan must be eating sandwiches again. No cooking videos. I love seeing that Stan can do in that little sleeper kitchen of his. He just needs a new recipe to inspire him. Well, there's a reason I haven't been doing any cooking videos. I won't get into it right now, but that video will be coming out in a couple 3 weeks. So keep your eye out for that, and you'll understand why I haven't been doing any cooking videos. And I'll just leave it at that for now. All right, let's move on to the next comment here. Okay, here's one. Greg H. He asked me, Stan, because you're a seasoned driver, can you or do you negotiate to be paid for your Deadhead miles? No, not really. That's not the way the business works. The business works, a customer has a trailer or a load or whatever, and it's at point A, and it's got to go to point B. And they're not concerned about where you had to come from to get it, okay? They are paying for the loaded miles. That's on our end to get the truck to that point A to pick the load up, whatever load it is, whether it's me with a new trailer or a customer that has a load of widgets that has to be loaded on a trailer and taken somewhere. So that's not the way the business works. They're not going to pay you for your Deadhead miles. Now, we have some customers that really need trailers really, really bad. They might pay for some Deadhead miles to go get a trailer, maybe run back to a certain. Let's say they have a whole bunch of trailers at one of the factories, and they need to get them down there, and they don't have time to wait, and so they'll pay us to actually Deadhead all the way back. That's a very rarity, though. Most of the time, we Deadhead to where we're going to pick up a load for free. Okay, the customer doesn't get charged for that. So the company I'm leased to, Choice Transport, they are actually very good at this, because sometimes they realize there are some really long deadheads in the kind of business we do. If that's the case, they will offer to pay some of the deadhead money. Okay, they'll offer to pay me some money for the deadhead. Okay, what that usually amounts to, though, is just basically it's enough to pay for your fuel, okay? If they know it's going to take about $100 worth of fuel to get from point A to point B, they'll throw $100 my way for that. There's a formula that they use. It's a guide. It's actually written in stone formula, but they're flexible with it, okay? For the most part, though, if I have to deadhead 50 or 150 miles or whatever, that's on me. I don't get paid for any of that. Once I get over and hook onto the load, then I get paid. And the magic of the business is you try to make enough loaded miles that the deadhead miles don't matter as much. Okay, the percentage is kept low. And that's just the way it is. And it doesn't matter whether you're a driver your first year, you've only been driving for a couple months, or you've been driving for 20 or 30 years. It doesn't matter. That's just the way it works. So with that, I hope that kind of covered that. I don't know how well that I don't know how well I explained that, but but no, we don't get paid for deadhead miles, especially the company doesn't. Now, sometimes, like I said, they'll help me out a little bit on fuel if it's a really exceptionally long deadhead. Okay, St. Toss, he asked, "Hey Stan, when do you get these loads? I'm sorry, when you do these loads, do you factor your invoices for a quick payout, or do you wait 30 or 40 days to get paid?" Well, where I'm at now, I'm leased to a company, and they pay me every week. Every Friday is payday, okay? They are the ones that wait 30 or 40 or 60 or however long before they get paid, okay? That's one of the advantages of being leased to a company. Now, the disadvantage to being leased to a company is they take a chunk of the money of the load out for their percentage. Okay, every company has a percentage that they take out. Okay. Now, when I had my own authority, which I still have my authority, but I put it. I've shelved it for the time being, but I still have my authority. I just don't have it activated, so to say. When I sold my company, I deactivated my authority, and I leased on with the company. Now, the way that all works is a company will lease you on, and you'll pay a percentage. Let's just say, I don't know, let's say 25% of the load. The customer, you'll haul a load for a customer, and they'll pay you $1,000. Well, the company that I'm leased to, they would get, let's say, 25% of that, and they get 25%, and I'd get 75%. Okay, some companies it's 30-70, some companies are 65-35, some companies are 15-95, or 85. It all depends on the company. Now, what we do, Choice, they're around the 20. What are they? 28%, I think, something like that. Now, they take their 28%, but what they cover is all the insurance, and what they cover is all the paperwork, and all the permits and billing and all the office work, all the stuff that I don't want to do anymore. They take care of all that. And is it worth it? Yes. I mean, obviously, I wish it was a lower percentage. Wouldn't everybody, Doesn't everybody want to get paid more, But it's worth it to me because I've had to deal with it before, for several years that I had my company. I would work my butt off all day long, and I'd come home and I'd do paperwork all evening long, and it just, it was you put a lot of hours in it. So in a way, it is worth it. The other thing is they pay for like I said, the cargo and the liability insurance. They pay for that, and that's the more expensive of the insurances. I have to pay the insurance on the tractor, okay, the collision insurance on the tractor. So if I was to have an accident, their insurance would cover for the trailer. If I'm hauling a trailer, they would cover for the trailer, and they would cover for any injuries or damages to other vehicles or the third party, okay. The only thing I have to insure is my tractor, and for me to get my tractor replaced. So there's a trade-off on that, of course. You see how they they take money out of the settlement, but they cover a lot of things that would have cost me money anyway. So in a way, it works out, you know. Somebody else somewhere down here asked me if I was sitting somewhere. I can't remember who it was. I have to scroll down here. Okay, here it is. C in Silver. He says, what's the relationship between you and the dispatcher? Can you work for just one company that dispatches the trailers, or you can work with multiple dispatchers, and guess that would be multiple companies to pick up loads? No, when you lease to a company, you are, it's like a marriage almost, or something. Now, we shouldn't say a marriage, but it's a contract. You've signed into a contract with them, and you will only haul under their name. If you haul, let's just say a person calls me and says, hey, I've got a couple trailers or a trailer I'd like you to haul for me. Okay, if I was to go over and pick that up and not tell the company I'm leased to, that trailer isn't under insurance. There's no insurance on that trailer. So if I have an accident, that trailer is not covered, okay? And if the company finds out, they're going, wait a minute, you're hauling a trailer, but you're doing it under the table, so to say. They don't get their cut, and they'll be upset about that because they're not making their percentage on, you know, for them covering your insurances and all the different things. So yeah, you can't haul trailers for somebody else unless they'd have to go through the company. Okay, so if John Doe calls me up and says, hey, I've got a trailer here, I'd like to get moved, I'd have to refer him to the company and let them do it, and then they would dispatch me on the load. Okay, that's the way to keep it all on the up and up. I suppose there's drivers out there that have done it. I've never done it. I don't really want to do that because the risk involved, it's just not worth it to me. Now, one of the other questions, the way he phrased this, what's your relationship between you and a dispatcher? Now, at Choice, we have 4 dispatchers. We've got the owner, and we've got 3 other dispatchers, and they all work together in the same room, and whoever happens to not be on the phone at the time, when I call, they're the ones that answer the phone. So I've got 4 different dispatchers I deal with, and but they're all within the company. Okay. Now there are other companies that work in a slightly different way. There's a company called Landstar, and they have what they call agents. They're a very big company, a huge company. And they have agents. So when you call a dispatcher, you're not really calling the dispatcher, you're calling, almost think of it like an insurance company with insurance agencies, okay? And you'd have, I've got a friend that works at Landstar, and what he'll do is he'll go on their computer, their website, what they call a load board, and he'll look around and put in, I'm at this location and I want to go to that location, that place on the map. And they'll show all the loads that are in the area, and then he has to decide, is the Deadhead too far away, or is it, hey, that's right close by, I can pick that up, but it's going to a really good area or a really bad area. And he decides whether he wants to take that load. If he decides he wants to take that load, there's a phone number, and he calls that phone number, which gets him in touch with the agent. Now that agent is contracted with Landstar, and that's how that particular company, there's a ton of different ways that dispatching works in trucking, is what I'm trying to get at. When I run my own company, I didn't have a dispatcher. I was the dispatcher. I did everything myself. So I would have a customer would call me and say, hey, I've got a load that's leaving on such and such day, and it's got to be over, let's say, and all I did was Dallas to LA, and they said, we've got a load next week, which means it would load on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and I'd be in LA on a Friday to deliver it. And they would send me the paperwork and everything, and I'd do all the appointments. I make all the appointments for the pickup and the delivery and all that kind of stuff, and I did all of that myself. Well, and then when I was in LA, I would do multiple pickups. I do what they call LTL, or less than truckload, and I would pick up different pallets. Instead of a full truckload, which is what they call truckload carrier, I would do LTL, less than truckload. Think of it as a truckload carrier is a limousine or a taxi, and you get exclusive use. You're a company, and you say, hey, I've got a whole truckload of something going somewhere, and we want exclusive use on that truck. So you'll go over and you'll load that load, and you'll take it to the destination without anybody else's stuff on there. LTL is more like a city bus. LTL is like, well, I don't have a whole truckload of something. I've got 2 pallets, and it needs to go from point A to point B. They'd call an LTL company up, and that LTL company would say, yeah, we can pick those 2 pallets up and have them here at this location on such and such date. So you would deliver, I'd go over and pick up 2 pallets, and I'd only charge them for those 2 pallets, not a whole truckload, and they would get a much better deal that way. They'd only pay for the 2 pallets instead of a much bigger fee. But they'd have to share the truck with other companies, okay? And another company might have 3 pallets, another company might have 1 pallet, another company might have 7 pallets. And I'd go around and I'd make all those pickups around LA. Once I'd made all those pickups, I'd bring them back to Dallas, and I'd make these 2 pallets go to this company, and those 7 pallets go to that company, and that 1 pallet goes to this company. And I would make all my deliveries, and that's what's called LTL. So when I had my business, I ran a truckload operation from Dallas out to LA, and then I'd run a LTL business from LA back to Dallas. And the money was good. Money was very good, but it was a lot of work. So after so many years, I finally got tired of it, got burnt out, just, work. How do they say? All work and no play makes Stanley a dull boy. So I just burned out on it, and I says, I've had enough, and I sold the truck and the trailer and the whole business. I sold it, walked away from the whole thing. That's when I come around and bought this Peterbilt and come over and started hauling empty trailers and kind of have a little bit of fun for the rest of my career. So, so that's a little bit of idea how dispatching works and how loads work and all that. I don't know how. I don't know if that's enough information for this video, but actually I'm looking at it. I think this video's been long enough, so I think I'm going to cut it off. With that, I'm going to stop. I want to say one other thing is thank you, all the great comments from people. I watch other YouTuber videos, and some of them have some really nasty people commenting. Making just, it's the internet, and just, people hide behind the TV or the computer screen and make all kinds of nasty comments. And they're called trolls. And I don't think I have any trolls. Thank you. All my viewers, at least the ones that make comments, are good people. I really like it. It just constantly comments that are nice just, you're good people. You're good people, and I can't thank you enough. Some of it might be because I try to avoid I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. The hood ornament should tell you where I stand on that, but I don't preach it, and I don't shove it down other people's throats. And I think people like that. I don't talk politics because you're just not going to agree, especially in this political climate. Nobody's going to agree. And if you want to watch that kind of stuff, if you want political stuff, there's a million other channels out there. So that's why I purposely don't talk about stuff like that. And maybe that's why I don't catch a lot of heat. I keep it neutral. I keep it vanilla. I keep it very, right down the center. So, but anyway, thank you very much. I mean, let me put it this way. My mother is extremely happy that people are so nice to me. So thank you very much for that. That's the best thing that you guys can do is be civil. Be civil out there. So with that, this video's gone long enough. So we'll see you Monday. Hope I have a better video for you next Monday, and we'll go from there. Okay? So see y'all later. Ciao.